Good morning, everyone. Kara McCoy here from warriorwomanfitness.com, and I am here with the lovely Jo Gill. She is one of our rising stars in our Mastery Lifestyle program. It is a program I've been running for 7 years. It is geared towards women over 40 to look and feel their best. So without further ado, I want to get on this because we got so much to cover. Hey, Jo.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so tell us where you are, who you are, that kind of stuff.
I'm in Kentucky and in Louisville, where we're having lots of flooding at the moment, but we'll get through it. We always do. Um, I've lived here my whole life. We actually live in LaGrange, which is right outside of that, and I am excited to be part of the program.
Yeah. Yay, so are we. Okay, so let's start with how did you come across the program and what drew you into this program? Because you know there are so many body transformation programs out there for women. So what was your first aha moment?
I hadn't really been looking for a fitness program per se. My sister had said something about a program she was on. I looked up some of the keywords that she had been using, and this one popped up.
Oh,
And that's actually how I found it.
so you
And
found
then,
me through keywords.
yeah, and looking at that, it was like, okay, this addresses the things I have been looking for. I was at a really low place at that point, and a lot of family trauma, a lot of things that had happened the previous 3 or 4 years during COVID since then. And upon retiring twice, it was, now what do I do? Where do I go? And I was losing my focus and myself because I had never had to focus on me. I had
Interesting.
always looked at my career, my kids, and taking care of other people, and had lost what that meant for myself.
And so how did that play out in your physical body then? Like
I
what
had
did you see?
started using food as a coping mechanism and
Mhm,
had put a lot of weight on. I weighed more than I did when I had my third child.
mhm.
It wouldn't come off. I'd tried several different diets. I'd done several different things that would work temporarily and then fall back. And it was it was a point where I was feeling defeated. I was feeling like I was losing hope, basically. Um, like there was not another way out, and I needed help.
Mhm. And so when you first came into the program, if you remember, the first thing we do is a beliefs detox. So
Mhm.
tell me how that was for you, because we always start with mindset first. So many people want to go to the diet, just tell me what to eat. That's not our approach because it's not sustainable. But how did you find that exercise?
That was life-changing for me. It
How
really
so?
was.
Uh-huh.
When we were on the call with my husband, and we talked the initial time, it was like, this is exactly what I need. It talks about the psychology behind why you're doing what you're doing. You have the support with the nutrition, you have the weight training as all a part of it, and one piece by itself is not enough. You have to have the integration of all of those working together to make a difference, and you have to be committed to wanting to improve yourself. And
Mhm.
I think that was where I was at. I needed help. I wanted to make improvements, and I was ready to try just about anything at that point. But this came together, addressing all of the areas that I knew I needed help in.
Right. So where are you now in your I can't remember when you joined the program. How many months have you been with us? For about
It was
6 months?
September, beginning of
September.
September.
Yeah. Okay, great. And where are you now in reaching your, let's talk about your physical goals. Where are you with
Mhm.
those?
My initial goal through the program was to get down to 150 pounds. I am at 150.9 today,
Yes.
and I
Congratulations.
still want to go further. I'm not
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But I had been at 194.
Right. Wow. Okay. So yes, and I have seen your pictures. Amazing, amazing work. And so let me ask you this. So many of these kinds of programs in mainstream, I always say we're the 5%, we're not the
Mhm.
95%, but this is work. right?
It
Like
is work,
we don't
and you
we
have
don't
to be
fool
committed.
anybody. This is work that you have to do
Yeah.
when you come in. So we're not here to give you a workout and give you a food plan and then just to coach you along the way. And so you're saying that you were prepared for the deeper work, right?
Hmm.
What I loved about it too was that your husband Jack joined on the call.
Hmm.
And I love that because I've had that in a few successful clients where the partners come on the call because there's a lot floating around out there, and there's a lot of charlatan marketers, if you want to put it that way. So it's kind of hard for us capable coaches to kind of cut through all of that noise. But when we have a partner, and I'm always encouraging women to bring their partner on the call, because this is not just you going through this process, right? This is a family.
Hmm.
This is everybody. This is
Yeah, he
affecting
had to be
everybody.
supportive as well because I couldn't
Yeah.
do it by myself.
Right, right. So you had the support of Jack and your lovely family. And
Hmm.
so if you were to share the mindset work that we do, as you know, is every week. We need to do it every week. How did you, what are some of the tools that you have walked away with because the sustainable piece is what we want? And
Hmm.
that's not found in the food and the exercise, it's found in the
Right.
mindset work. So what are your tools that you draw on when you fall off track to bring you back, which life happens to all of us,
Hmm.
right? So what would you say yours are?
There are several. One is going back to journaling, which I've used previously, but not been dedicated to like being consistent with it.
Mhm.
The pause breath is definitely another one. Um, and just knowing that and learning that sitting with emotions is okay, and that
Yes.
they're not bad, they're emotions. Everybody has them, because it's easy to get caught up into thinking I shouldn't feel this way. And then it becomes a downward spiral because you do feel that way and
Mhm.
you beat yourself up over something you shouldn't be beating yourself up over. And
Mhm.
so that was a huge piece for me, just learning that part of it and having that reinforced, because you can know things, but seeing other people and having that support group within this community, it helps you know that you're not by yourself and you're not weird because you're dealing with this, and you're not going through the same things. Your other people are dealing with it too.
Yeah, yeah, the community is so, so important for sure. And
Hmm.
what I love about the group, and every group is a little bit different. They come with their own energy, but the women that we've had for some time now, they're very cohesive. They're
Hmm.
very supportive, and sharing the stories is super, super important as well. So when we look at the archetypes, what would you say were yours that were standing in your way, if personas, if you will?
That was a tough one to go through,
Yeah, tough
because it
module.
brought up a lot of things, from that you don't even think are affecting you from 25, 30 years ago,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And you have to understand and work through that part of it. Um, but learning the different ones with mother daughter and how to navigate that was a big one for me,
Mhm.
and what
Mhm.
that meant.
Mm-hmm. And if I recall too, I mean, for a lot of women, there's that people pleasing, there's that serve everybody else first before ourselves. If they're good, I'm good. There's that guilt that comes in too, right?
Hmm.
That's a lot of
And I
it.
felt that a lot of it, tend, I guess the lone wolf is what came up as well.
Right,
And that's something that I've had to learn to be okay and learn how to reach out and learn how to accept help, because that's not easy for me.
right, right. Yeah, the lone wolf likes to isolate herself, doesn't want people to see her. And yeah, it's a tough one. I share in that archetype. I think I shared that with you.
Mhm.
And being able to use our voice and know that it's worthwhile, right? And that others, like you say, others are going through the same thing. We all have our own challenges with our physicality and with our emotional world. But at the end of the day, we all want to love and be loved. We all want to feel good. We want to look good. It's okay to look good and want to look good and be able to age well as well, right? What one of the big focus of our program has always been on the coaching. We pride ourselves on coaching because it's so, so important, and having that support mechanism, I feel, is one of the most important, if not the most important, in any program. How would you tally up the coaches? Of course, you're not going to say anything bad, but anyways, there's three of us, right?
Mhm.
I'm the main, and we've got two others. How valuable was the coaching piece for you?
It helped. I think it helped as far as the nutrition piece and knowing what healthy eating actually looked like.
Mhm.
I know there were a lot of resources that I didn't necessarily tap into that I could have.
Mhm.
Um, and the just knowing that that support was there was reassuring, and that if we needed more, we had access to additional things. If it's something that each person who's going through this would have needed, that kind of thing.
Mhm. Mhm. Beautiful. So after the program finishes, of course, you're now an alumni, so you get to
Mhm.
stay on for as long as you want. How important is that after the 16-week program to be able to stay in? Is it necessary for you to continue to go deeper into this work, or what would you say to people who just want to do 8 or 12 weeks and be done?
Um, I think having that support is good. Being connected is important. And if you lose that connection, what I'm afraid for me is that I will sink back into the isolation piece.
Right.
Um, I know I had to be gone for a couple of weeks, and that about drove me nuts. And I was really glad to get just back on a call, just to listen even, because it's so helpful.
Yeah, just getting back into that ecosystem, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful. So where do we go from here? Where does Joe's life go from here? Has it opened doors to other projects, other possibilities? What do you see?
It has. It's allowed me to focus on myself, know that I am setting an example for my kids. I have three daughters who are married and raising their own kids now. We have four grandchildren. Our last one was born like 2 weeks ago. Yay. Um,
Yay.
but more than that, it's given me the confidence to step outside my comfort zone and do some things that I probably would not have done otherwise.
Beautiful. Are you going to go back to scuba diving?
Eventually, yes,
Yeah. Good.
that is on the list of things
Yes.
when we can get there.
Well, good for you, girl. I'm not going underwater, but that's good for you. Kudos to you. Um, Final question. If anybody is on the fence about joining a program, this program, our
Mhm.
program, the Mastery Lifestyle program, the 16-20 week, as we say, depending on how long you take, what would you say to them?
If you're on the fence and considering it, you need to get off the fence and do it,
Mhm. Mhm.
because it's something that will help you with not just understanding your emotional system, but understanding the nutrition and how they all work together with the weight training and the mindset work, the health piece, so that you can live the rest of your life more in a more healthy way. At least have the tools, if you decide not to stay on, at least give you some tools that you can use that will benefit you for however long you want to use them.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Any other words of wisdom?
Consistency
Yeah.
and perseverance
And
is
perseverance.
definitely a key. Um,
Yes.
and not being afraid to share what's going on.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we are all thankful that you joined. I'm so grateful that you're in our community. You support women that are in there and the new women coming in. And we have a strong, cohesive community of beautiful women all
Mhm.
working together on the same path. Because, like we say, it's never the destination, it's the journey along the way and who you become along the way.
Mhm.
Right. And the weight loss and the training are aspects of loving ourselves, but we also have to weave into that fabric the mental, emotional, and spiritual as well. Yes.
Yeah, it's not one piece. You have to weave it together.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, we thank you so much for your time.
I'm
Wish
grateful for
you
you guys.
well, and we will see you, and we're grateful for you, and we'll see you on our weekly call.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you, and love to Jack, and to
Okay.
your family. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.